You're listening to the Ecosystem Approach show. I'm Jason.
And I'm Patricia. Tune in every Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific Time and 4 p.m. Eastern Time on Transformation Talk Radio.
We discovered that human potential is severely limited when you program humans like a machine, which is standard practice today for self-improvement.
The Ecosystem Approach teaches you how to uncover your infinite potential by using natural methods that are truly revolutionary. Join us now for the Ecosystem Approach show. Today, we go behind the veil to have a mind-blowing conversation with one of history's greatest scientists, Carl Sagan. What did he immediately grasp about the bias against subtle energies? Oh, what formula is he trying to create from the non-physical dimension? And in a profoundly emotional turn, he shared the heart-wrenching regret of his life, an epic love story with his wife, Anne Druyan. And now he understands true dark energy, the reason for his cancer. Join us as we witness the creation of a universe-spanning alliance determined to affect Earth in ways that have never happened before. This is the conversation that proves his journey and his genius is not done. You're listening to the Ecosystem Approach show. Stay with us.
Woo.
Yeah, you got that right. Jason, who is Carl Sagan for those who don't know?
Carl Sagan is a man who made the universe feel like home, which is very poetic, but he is a world-renowned astronomer, the creator of the legendary series Cosmos on PBS, and he co-wrote the novel Contact, which was later turned into a movie. Right. He was more than just a scientist. Sagan was a master storyteller who believed that we are all made of star stuff.
Oh,
He spent his life bridging the gap between complex science and the human heart, teaching us to look at the night sky with equal parts of curiosity and wonder.
You know, that alone just touches me.
It does.
And the reason it touches me has to do with, I remember as a kid having the abilities that I have, but going outside and looking up at the night sky, especially, of course, and seeing all these stars and wondering what it would be like to be able to connect with them, or what it would be like to be able to understand. I heard somewhere along the line they had names, and I wanted to know these things. But of course, there were other things that I had to do
Well,
first.
you know, it's interesting because astronomy and what we do, I think, are closely related, but there's always been this hard line that I can't believe in that stuff.
Yes.
And now it's that line's kind of going away.
Yeah, we're liking that a lot. Yeah. So then let me ask you, Jason, isn't it ironic that we're talking to Carl Sagan?
You know, he has this great sense of humor, and
He does.
and he chatters at both of us.
He does.
Since we did this channeling session, we did a two-part channeling session.
Yeah, right.
But then he kept talking. You know, next day and
Well,
the
he's
next
still
day.
talking. Let me
this
say it
morning,
that
today,
way.
yeah, he's talking. So he's
Yeah.
not quiet. But it's kind of a joke we have. You know, he made videos about talking to aliens. You know,
Yes.
and then we're joking with him. Well, now he is one. And yeah, for you science guys out there, he's technically not an alien because he's not from a different planet. But
Right.
he thinks that's really funny.
Exactly.
You know, he thinks that's a
Exactly.
really great joke.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you know, it's the kind where in fact, when we were talking to him about it and laughing about it, he almost did like he slapped himself on the knee and said, "Oh my gosh, you're absolutely right." But I'm not really an alien, am I? You know, and so I thought that was really kind of cute.
Well, he knows better. An alien technically is is another being from a distant planet.
That is correct.
And he's from this planet. So,
Yes.
anyways, but we're not going to do that stuff in this show.
No.
Because it's there's some big stuff here. So
Right.
I want to get to that. So where are we at? I don't even know where we're at anymore.
Well,
So
all the people in Alliance 2 are talking to us both during the day. It happens
Yeah.
all the time. And I have a rule. No one is allowed to talk to me at night or wake me up. That's not quite acceptable. Jason hasn't made quite that statement yet, and he got woke up the other day. But we'll talk about that one in a minute. The point that I'm getting at is that they do talk to us all the time. And one of the things that but has been suggested that we clear them so that they can communicate with us better.
And that's what we've been doing. We've been clearing the barriers between the negative that's the negative energy that keeps them from talking with us.
Yes.
And it's becoming easier and easier, and we hear him more clearly and more clearly.
Yes.
It's sort of like muffled, and sometimes we don't get quite what he's saying and that sort of thing.
And
all of them. It's not just him.
It's not just him. And one of the things I'll say is, I'm sorry, I didn't quite explain that again, or ask me that question again, or what am I supposed to be understanding here?
For most of the people in the Alliance 2, there's we have a common language. We all speak English.
We do.
But
we do.
A scientist has a different language. They have a lot of acronyms. Ruth Bader Ginsburg, has legal terms. Even Mark Twain, he had 100 years ago, there was a different way to put words together. Yeah.
I would say it would have been a form of nuance.
Yeah.
And but also John Muir. I mean, he also had this way about him that was not quite. It wouldn't exactly be. I don't want to say acceptable. That's not the right word. But people.
It had a brusqueness to it. That's very Scottish.
I would say brash.
Yeah.
Yes, and so it would be a little difficult today to really understand that sort of thing. So, Jason, Carl started with the exact point you were trying to make. Could you explain that, please?
So we went into the session, and he was already there. I mean, he was
prepared and waiting.
So we sit down. We either sit with each other, or we sit across the room from each other so we can see each other and set up the microphone, that sort of thing, and so we can record it. And it's I would post some of that. It just so you know, it's very slow. We'll ask a question, and it takes a minute, and it's not good. It's not good. It's not interesting for something like this. So we've kind of condensed it. But he started with the question that I've asked everybody else. Jane Goodall, for example, regarding the bias towards subtle energies, and he just jumped right in. He said the reason. And this is from Carl, the reason science has discounted subtle energies has to do with fear. And the biggest thing that science has not been able to measure it, because they can't measure it by the rules of science, it doesn't exist.
Well, that's their rule.
Which, by the way, is very closed-minded,
Yes.
For both of us. We both have that opinion.
Yes.
And so I said, way to go, Carl. I'm right there with you. So then he continued. He said, the ridicule that I dealt with regarding SETI, the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, was overcome by the amount of money I made from popularizing science and making it accessible to the masses.
Correct.
He also told us that he wants to see if he can create a formula for us to measure it, the subtle energies. Yeah. He's saying, okay, if you can measure it, then you can legitimize it, and then all of a sudden what we're doing can have more validity.
Correct.
He continues, negative energy doesn't want this to come forward, because if it did, it would blow negative energy out of the water. Mm-hmm. Now, if you understand negative energy like we do,
yes,
it doesn't want to be seen. It has to be covert.
Correct.
And if everybody understood negative energy, it wouldn't have the power that it does now.
Yes.
And
that's part of what we want to make happen.
he used a term that we talk about all the time. He said, we need to clear the damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yes.
Because
yes,
it suppressed some of the most brilliant minds because the negative energy doesn't want to be seen. Right. What he was saying, and we can discuss this more later, but if you haven't had a lot of accomplishment, if you haven't had the acknowledgement for your intellect, maybe that's because of dark energy. Maybe that's not because it's not that you're not good enough.
Right.
It might be because of the dark energy suppression. So
exactly. Well, he also he gave us some orders. So I want to talk. Let's talk about that, Jason.
He told us you need to clear for each one in Alliance 2.
Yes.
So that these people, these entities, these brilliant minds can come together and see what we can do with this. He wants to collaborate with them.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
he's very gung ho, and he was talking about a couple things: clearing so they can talk to us without interference. Right. So they can talk or collaborate with each other. There's still jealousies. I don't know you.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Yeah.
You know, I know your reputation.
Yeah, I was going to say, I
yeah.
heard this about you.
Yeah.
Yes.
And even be more empowered to affect the physical world. That's a biggie. Oh my gosh, I don't want to gloss over that. They want to be able to have power to affect us here.
Well,
now we've always heard, you know, oh, my dad just died and he's looking over me, or my mom died and
right.
they're looking over and looking out for me, that sort of thing. Does that really happen? We haven't seen that. We haven't seen a lot of power coming from the other side at all.
And I would say that in terms of power, but I really need to say something really, really, really important. That one of the things that, they all want to connect to us, which is great, but they want to connect with us to help make this world a better place to be.
It's very inspiring.
It is very inspiring. And each one of them have said in their own way, oh, we never expected to see at this place in time the dysfunction of what is going on around us all. And so the point that Carl was getting at, but the rest of them are going, yeah, we get it, is that if we clear negative energies for them, they can help us. And they want to go through Jason and myself to do this. They want us to have information that they have that is not out there quite yet.
So let's do the outro. Yeah.
All right. In the next segment, we're going to continue our conversation with Carl Sagan and talk about his love affair with his wife, Anne Druyan, and if his death from cancer could have been avoided. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia, and you're listening to Transformation Network. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason, and I'm Patricia. And in this segment, we're going to continue our conversation with Carl Sagan and talk about his love affair with his wife, Anne Druyan, and his death from cancer. Could it have been avoided?
Yeah. Oof.
That's a big one. But, Jason, we need to go back, and we have a couple things to talk about from the last segment.
Here's the most important point, okay?
Okay.
He brought it up. He wants the ability for them to affect us here.
Correct.
So we were wondering, and it's an obvious question, have the entities or souls in the non-physical dimension always had the ability to affect the physical world but have been blocked by dark energy? Has dark energy been blocking them for hundreds and thousands of years? Correct. That keeps those souls from affecting us in a positive way?
Right.
Because we've talked about this. We see that the world isn't getting better. And we've talked about the 80%.
Correct.
How people come in with a lot of 80% negative energy already. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
You know, so if they could have power to affect us here, you know, even Bashar, Abraham, and Seth, their purpose was to help the earth evolve.
Yes.
But I didn't see that they ever tried to put their thumb on the scale, so to speak, and work with us here. They were providing information so that we could do it for ourselves, which I see the benefit of that.
Right. That's right.
But I also see, like right now, they're helping us. They've almost helped us collect this group, starting with Ruth Bader
they
Ginsburg.
didn't almost. They did
Yes.
help us. Yes.
So
Actually, starting with John Muir.
Well, I thought it was Ruth that came forward first. We can't remember anymore. It's getting so complicated.
No, I think he's right. It was Ruth.
Yeah, and she said, you asked who is that, and you said I'm Ruth, and that's when it started, and she's been kind of quiet lately. We'll have to clear her and find out what's going on there.
Yeah.
But it's just this is a big issue, and Carl is. I don't want him to make him sound like he's immature or not serious, but it's almost as if he's jumping up and down, like I am. I'm kind of jumping up and down. Oh my gosh, if we can clear Alliance 2, so there's power.
Yes.
Because those souls, those entities innately have power. They had power when they were here on Earth, and they made things happen.
And they're asking for right now power to communicate.
Yes.
Not only with each other.
Yes.
In the Alliance 2, but power to communicate with us and help us help you and the world.
So we did this. The clearings that we're doing at the end of this show are the same clearings that we were doing for them. And we're hoping that you will want to join us. We talked about the Alliance. We have Bashar, Abraham, and Seth, which we call Alliance 1. And then we have Alliance 2, which is up to 13 people. We're adding more.
Yes, we are.
So, and at some point we'll publish that list. But but it has to include not just us here in the physical dimension, but you guys. If you're listening right now, it has to include you. We have to make this world better. And how do you do that? Well, just briefly, by starting with your own evolution, clearing the negative energy for yourself, following our channel and learning how to clear that negative energy and start to do it for yourself. Correct. Very soon we're going to have some classes and things like that.
Yes.
That'll be available. The way to stay in touch with us is go to our website, theecosystemapproach.org, sign up for the newsletter, and then also go to our YouTube channel. Now we're going to separate from Transformation Network. The 2 more shows. There'll be this show and another show in January, and then it'll all be in our YouTube channel. So please find us there, the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia Rohn, and subscribe.
Yes.
And don't subscribe because it's going to help our channel. Subscribe because you need to have this information. You want to be part of this new change.
Well, and I want everyone to think about when you start to evolve, your life changes in a very amazing, positive way. I'm not saying negative energy goes away. No, it doesn't. I don't want that illusion to be out there.
We're starting to get there, but it's not like you take a pill and it's gone the next day.
No.
And we clear every day, and we've been doing it for 25 years. We're going to be doing it for 25 more years.
Yes.
But it's already created huge differences in us.
Correct.
So, when we do this, they're talking to us, and I don't know, it makes my nose itch. I just can't help myself. So I apologize for the visual interruption, but that's, it's
okay, honey.
Yeah,
it's okay. So, Jason, can we do a conclusion for segment 1 or the first segment?
Carl Sagan is as brilliant in the afterlife as he was when he was alive, and he's not done. He immediately understood the bias within the scientific community and how this newly discovered negative or dark energy affects everything.
Yes.
He is acting as a leader and a facilitator within the Alliance 2, and he has a vision for the group that it can affect Earth in a positive way.
Yes.
And in a way, the communication with Carl is a destiny that he began while on Earth.
Exactly.
He's fulfilling his destiny that he started while he was on Earth. While all collaboration with Alliance 1 and Alliance 2 and everybody that's associated with the ecosystem approach, it's all coming together. We're all doing it together. So make sure you're connected with us.
Yes, be part of it. Come join us.
So,
by all means.
So let's start in the next.
All right. So,
right
Jason,
there.
how did the second session start with Carl? It's huge.
I woke up talking to him, and lately I haven't been able to. Normally I sleep like a rock. Patricia hates it because, she'll be lying awake and I'll be,
out
within 5 seconds, that sort of thing. But lately, there's stuff going on, and I'm processing all this information. But I woke up talking to him, and he was especially interested in his relationship with Druyan, and he was nudging me because he was beginning to see that if he cleared, he could have lived a longer life and could have been with Anne longer. He told me he always wanted to grow old with her. Yes. And I'm just, these emotional cues don't come through. Patricia is much more aware of them than I am, just in the world too, I'm pretty good when I'm face to face, but when it's, in this, when we're channeling, it's different, and you don't pick that up. Right. So let's see if we can tell you the story about what happened. So
Jason, what is the new perspective on Carl's cancer that you two discussed?
I told him that his cancer was dark energy and it could have been cleared. He died at the age 62.
I mean,
which is even today is young. Okay.
Very.
And one of the things that we're really impressed with Carl, that he gets these energy concepts really quickly and easily,
yes,
which is uncommon for a scientist.
That is correct.
Scientists don't think that way, and he's right there. So I asked him if he wanted to explore the idea if he could have lived longer by clearing the cancer, and he simply said yes. I said this, and I said just like this: "Come on, Carl, is that all you have to say?" Because he's been chatting all morning, that sort of thing. And then he said, "I don't know what to say." And then he said, "I don't know you that well. I realize now I touched a really tender part, an emotional part. Yes. And I believe that he had a great regret that he died so young. He wanted to grow old with Anne, and that really didn't happen."
So as I look at it, I can see there's places, and for each one in the Alliance and everyone that I work with, I need to take look at the powerlessness that each one of us holds. Each one of us has powerlessness.
Yeah.
And if we can see
hopelessness, sadness, grief, yeah.
It's all in that arena.
Most of that is dark energy.
Exactly. And that is the way that negative energy, dark energy, keeps you down. And the last thing we want is for people like Carl or any of you to be kept down any longer. There's a lot that needs to be done. So, Jason, I know that Carl talked about the metaphor for his cancer.
Yeah. So
that was huge.
I explained to Carl that to understand the energy of illness and disease, you need to see it as a metaphor. He understood immediately. This is why we're so impressed with him. I asked him what was the metaphor for his rare bone cancer. It was a rare bone marrow cancer.
Right.
And he said, anger. I continually had to chase money. I never felt like I could prove myself down to the bone. Ooh. And then I told him, what you're describing is that you didn't know who you were down to the bone.
Right.
You didn't know your purpose. And we know, and we've been talking about
Yes.
this on shows way before we started channeling, is that your purpose is key to who you are,
Exactly.
key to having your essence work the way it's supposed to.
And he answered, though. He answered
Yes.
you, and he said, how could I know? I felt I was constantly failing.
And I think a lot of that was because of the criticism that he was getting.
Absolutely. So
And then I said to him, okay,
there you go.
that's because the accomplishment is owned by the dark. It's not about the pursuit of knowledge. It's always about money.
Yes.
And then I asked him, I changed the subject a little bit, on a scale from 1 to 10, how much do you want to see or connect with Anne, with 10 being the most and 1 being the least?
Yes. And he said?
8, because I'm afraid that I want to see her more than she wants to see me. I'm afraid that I disappointed her, that I didn't live up to my expectations, that I didn't live up to her expectations of me, and because I couldn't see the real me. And it took my death to be able to see that I didn't really know who I was.
Right.
Oh, do you realize how profound that is? Oh my gosh.
Yes.
And remember, there's not the same timeline here on Earth, and the feeling of disappointment is still with me like it was yesterday.
Yes.
And then he said, I didn't know love until I met her. It's almost like she put a spell over me and we didn't believe in that sort of thing.
Yes, exactly.
He was trying to do humor, but he was just, the grief, you could just feel the grief.
Yes. Oh, I can still feel it as we're doing this. So
let's do the outro.
All right, let's do the outro. You ready?
Yeah. We don't even know where it is. So,
okay, there we go.
So we're gonna come back in the next segment.
And come and join us, because we have more things to say and more connections with Carl Sagan. This is Jason and Patricia with the Ecosystem Approach.
Yeah.
And you're listening to, thank you, Transformation Network. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason, and I'm Patricia. And in this segment, we're going to talk about some of the big ideas and directions that came out of this channeling session with Carl. Many times others speak up and offer ideas and comments that are fascinating and make us think about the possibilities that could come from the alliance. I love this. I absolutely love this. But we need to do a conclusion for the last segment that we did. So, Jason, what is the conclusion of segment 2?
The raw brilliance of Carl Sagan, even from the beyond, was astonishing. It was a mind-blowing paradox that a great scientist known for his rigorous skepticism could instantly grasp the concepts of subtle energy. Yet the true awe of channeling lay in the unveiling of his soul. Oh my gosh. Right. This conversation was profoundly emotional as he laid bare his epic love for his wife, Anne Druyan, with the poignant declaration, I never knew love until I met her. But in the same breath, he shared a heart-wrenching vulnerability, his deepest regret, the haunting shadow of doubt over his monumental career, and the pain of feeling that he had failed or fallen short of her expectations. This feeling, utterly baffling given his towering success,
correct,
underscores the intensity and intimacy of the connection we had made. It was very emotional.
It was very emotional, and I could feel it. And I struggle to. Let's put it this way. There's times where I know I just need to keep quiet and see what's going to come out of all of it. But I could feel the I'm going to call it regret, and I'm sorry. Regret is not an easy thing to deal with.
And I think regret is too. It's not a big enough word.
I'll agree.
It was
in that case by all means. So are we doing this one here?
Yeah,
okay.
We are.
All right. So Jason, what happened after Carl, shared his admiration for Albert Einstein? This was huge.
Yes, it was. Carl said, in the Earth's history, Einstein made the largest scientific discovery of all time.
Yeah.
And the rest of us want to live up to him. But it was only yesterday that I connected with him. And I see that he has...
well, he was just like the rest of them, right?
He was just like the rest of them. He had the same regret or shame that he hadn't accomplished what he came here to do, that he didn't accomplish enough.
Yes.
And he was never able to give himself credit for his accomplishment.
Yes.
And here is Carl has this great admiration, and he's saying, "Oh my gosh, he's just like me."
Yes. Yes.
The big takeaway for this, if you're listening right now, is that if you have that feeling that you haven't accomplished enough, remember what I said to Carl, is that the dark owns accomplishment.
Yes.
Those
Yeah. Oh.
those what do you call it? Accolades and awards and things on your resume,
Yes.
often come from a political process that may not be objective or fair. It wasn't for Carl during his life.
No.
He was refused entry into the
Science. I apologize. I don't remember.
Yeah, we'll put it in the comments. Yeah,
Yeah.
But
yeah.
he was refused entry, and they later felt that it was a mistake, and later had given him another award that was even more prestigious.
But it was after he died that happened.
No,
correct?
no, it wasn't.
Oh,
was,
my
it was-
apologies.
yeah.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
but it showed that there was a bias in the beginning, and they tried to correct it, but
Yes.
it's still, the feeling was still there. So,
Yes.
but the point is about Albert
Yes.
Einstein, and if you're feeling this, he said it in the first time, this damned if you, damned if you don't. But all these brilliant minds, he could see, and we've never talked enough about this,
Okay.
the utter potential for people on Earth if we took away the negative energy, the dark energy,
Oh,
the
absolutely.
brain power available.
Well, and
All the people that have been discredited and pushed aside, and women and people of color and all those
all
things.
of these things. Well, and here's the irony, about what Jason was just talking about. Albert Einstein even felt these things.
Yes.
And I mean, supposedly he made the greatest scientific discovery of Earth. And the bottom line is that he still felt it, but we're working on removing that negative energy because Albert has other things to do. And let's put
They
it
all
that
want to
way.
work together in
They
a way
all
that is
do,
just
and
exciting.
it's just
yeah.
it's so exciting. But here's one of the things that we got out of it. We hadn't seen it before, and it was that Albert Einstein received his formula and his inspiration for his formula from another universe. So, subtle energies don't exist, and I
Well,
realize I'm being.
There's a couple of points to unpack there. We're gonna
do.
keep doing. There's so much to talk about.
Yes.
So
Yes.
make sure you're connected with us. If you're not
Yes.
subscribed, you've got to subscribe so you get all this content because
Right,
we're going to
exactly.
be putting it out.
Well,
so.
okay, so let me ask this next question. Is there a block to collaboration in the non-physical dimension?
This is what Carl said. Yes, absolutely. He didn't just remember. Do you remember when he said
He yelled? In fact, it was one of those times where the dogs lifted their heads and they went, "Hey, what's going on?"
And then he said, "We need to clear the damned if you do, damned if you don't."
Right.
Because it suppresses some of the brilliant minds. So that's what we were just talking about.
Right.
Because negative energy doesn't want to be seen. So if you start removing this negative dark energy, then these people that haven't been recognized, that haven't felt like they've accomplished, they can come forward. The power there is beyond our human comprehension right now.
Exactly. This is really well. I just want to say one other thing. When I started removing the negative energy, the clarity that I gained regarding my abilities to see subtle energies and such, I'll say it that way, they became very in tuned. And yes, when I use them every day, they tune all the time. And it is so amazing to me to have the ability to work with somebody like Carl Sagan, Albert Einstein, Jane Goodall, all of these amazing souls. I really look forward to getting up every morning to see what's going to
So let's keep going because
Okay.
one of the things that he talked about was the blocks to collaboration, not
Yes.
only in the physical world,
Yes,
because
yes.
he struggled with that too,
Yes.
but as well as the non-physical world, because he wants to collaborate with all these people,
Right.
and there are blocks, and we've been clearing that, and things have been happening. Oh my gosh!
Yes, they have.
So he asked us to clear everybody, and we started doing that.
Yes.
And then they rushed you. They
But
overwhelmed
I
you.
went, whoa, back up, everybody. Well, I'll get to every single one of you, I promise. Your name is on this list. I will get to you. And so we went down the line. Oh, this was so amazing. Here's the thing. I don't know if I even mentioned this to you, but I actually can see all of them. And they started to light up, and meaning become brighter in who they are. Now, how many people can say that? They can't, unless they have a great photographer and that sort of thing. There was no great photographer in the room. When we started removing negative energy, I could see that they were starting to come alive again. And I don't mean in the physical body. I'm talking about their souls.
So
It was amazing.
the whole group started talking about the need for balanced emotion.
Yes.
Now, if you remember, Jane Goodall had said this, that there's not a balance. There has to be a balance of male and female, of logic and emotion.
Exactly.
And it's not there. And especially in the scientific world, it's so skewed to
how
the
about in the political world?
exactly,
No, not at all.
or business world.
Exactly,
So
exactly.
So this is what Carl said. He said they wanted to start the engine, and he's talking metaphorically, so they can know before they come back through that they have this balance for their benefit.
Yes.
They want to have more balanced emotions, logic, that sort of thing.
Yes.
And they can see that's where the wisdom and the power comes from.
Yes,
You know?
when that balance happens.
Yes, that you can't really have evolution,
No.
which is what we're all talking about.
That's right. That's right.
Unless you have that balance,
Yes.
and that creates real power.
Yes.
And then he continues to say, each one of them wants to be able to connect with just a piece of Patricia, so they can learn about emotions from an expert. Now he was joking with her, okay, but he meant it.
He meant exactly, but he meant it with a really amazing kindness.
So just the backstory really quick. All of her life, people have been making fun of her emotionality. And this is where it's starting to come forward and say, you teach us. Yeah,
exactly. It's becoming useful. And by the way, I was never told in my life ever before that I would be useful in my emotionality. So, Jason, the group started to see the power of clearing. Talk about that for a minute.
They were pushing to be cleared, and they wanted to do it collectively and individually.
Yes.
Nelson Mandela came forward, and Patricia started clearing the anger and hate he was carrying. Vincent van Gogh jumped in and said, hasn't everyone had connection to dark energy? And we said, yes, but we're trying to change the future, which is what Eleanor Roosevelt had said to us, which is
exactly.
I think it was Abraham said to us,
yes,
you're going to change the future.
Yes.
That's how it's happening, by removing this negative energy.
So join us, everyone.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And then Jane Goodall came forward and said how everyone was fascinated by us and our love affair. I don't know if it comes through in these videos, but I can relate to how Carl feels about Anne, because that's the way I feel about Patricia. And we have that connection that we crave it. We have to be connected. We have these long conversations that get interrupted by life, and we get really it's really annoying because we have this stuff to do and we can't continue.
But the connection is so amazing.
They see us as the scientists of metaphysics.
Yes, exactly.
Because we show the negative energy and understand how it works in the world, and how in the non-physical dimension. So,
Jason, what is the summary of this segment?
Alliance 2 is seeing the power of clearing for them.
Yes.
The ultimate question is whether Alliance 2 can be empowered to affect the world in ways that have never happened before. Patricia and I have never seen souls who have ascended who were able to affect life here on Earth. Could that change by clearing the souls of the Alliance?
I think so.
Oh, we can't wait. We're
going to let you know.
Could these great people who have made such a contribution while alive given another chance to have an even more of an effect after clearing?
Yes.
Carl Sagan is determined and excited for another chance to have the ability to serve humanity.
Yes.
And he's getting the
and
other.
so are the others. They
excited.
all are. So
Yes.
in the next segment,
No, it's this one.
oh, my apologies. In the next segment, we're going to show you how to do some clearings, and we're going to just know that all of us, those that join us, things are going to be changing in
We're going to
such
show
an
you how to do the
amazing
clearings
way.
that we're going to do for them.
Absolutely,
So.
yes, exactly. So stay tuned. We'll see you in just a moment. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason, and I'm Patricia. And in this segment, we're going to show you how to do some of the same clearings that we're doing with the Alliance 2 members. If you feel you haven't done enough in your life, or you're struggling with the way things are in the world, do these with us. Do these clearings every single day. And join us. Keep joining us. So,
if you want to know how to do the clearing, we've talked about it in every show. We're just
Yes.
going to skip it today because of time. But these are the clearings. We're going to ask Alliance 2 to do these with us.
Yes.
So they're going to be listening, and I think they apply to both. So see what you think.
Exactly.
And remember, you can just put the dark energy in the processor, and here we go.
Well, and here's what I'm going to say. Follow along, everyone. It goes like this. Jason?
I direct all my resources in all dimensions to eliminate the unworthiness and guilt and shame that I felt recently about my life, and can now see that everyone of the Alliance 2 has felt the same way.
Yes.
I will eliminate it now and forever.
Take a breath.
Blow
and
it
put
into...
it in that processor.
Yeah.
That processor works, and using the processor really helps you and everyone around you when you're using the processor get rid of negative energy, because when you put it in there, it gets processed and comes out neutral. With that said, I'm going to shorten it up just a little tiny bit, and to eliminate the veils and illusions so I can see how common negative dark energy is and how everyone has been affected by it. And it's critical for me to remove it, starting right now. Nice and easy. Take a breath and blow it out.
And to eliminate any jealousy or competition that keeps me from positive collaboration with others in the Alliance 2 or in the physical world that creates blocks for me and others to move forward.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, this
Take
is
a
so
breath.
big.
Get rid of that jealousy. You don't need it. Next one. And to eliminate any barriers or restrictions that keep me from communication to resolve my problems. That dark energy, the dark energy that keeps me from speaking up in the best way and is allowing me to speak when I am embarrassed or ashamed or feel guilty. I'm going to get rid of it right now. Throw it away.
I can't tell you how many movies we've seen, TV shows we've seen,
Right.
where everything could be fixed if someone
Somebody
would
was
just
clear.
would speak up and say communicate.
Exactly.
And it's so simple, but
Yeah.
those blocks to communication are huge.
Yes, exactly.
So
Jason?
Here we go, the last one. And to eliminate any barriers that keep me from being a participating member of the Alliance in a way that I can be the most useful.
For them and for me.
Yes.
Yes. Nice and easy. Take a breath and blow it out. Now we're going to activate life force. Life force energy is the most powerful energy that anyone has access to here on Earth. And therefore, and even we're using it for Alliance 2. So follow along and let's see where all of this goes. I direct all my resources in all dimensions to activate life force energy so I can feel the power that is being created in this dimension or the non-physical dimension and use that ability power and wisdom in the best way for me and the world, starting right now. Nice and easy. This time you're going to pull in that powerful, activated life force energy. Let it go all the way to the ends of your toes. Stop it right there. Ask it to turn around and come back up your body, collecting more negative energy, and blow it out. Throw it in the processor. Jason?
And to activate life force so I can feel the power that is being created in this dimension.
We already did it.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm spacey today because I'm spacey.
Because that
Yes,
happens.
that happens. Yes. Okay.
Yes. But
And if you're spacey or feeling any sort of physical sensation,
Yes.
you're getting a buzz, you're getting excited.
Yes.
Maybe you're saying, "Oh my gosh, has this been what I've been waiting for?" Oh my gosh, I've been one of those people who I felt like I failed all my life.
Yes.
Have I really? Is it negative energy that's really in my way? If I start clearing it, could that make a difference?
Yes.
And yes, there is negative energy in the world, or there's
course.
life was not designed to be just
no, we're not supposed to. It's not supposed to be
perfect or rainbows and
but
unicorns
we're
all
not
the time.
supposed to be stuck and
The way we are,
broken
it's so
and
far off.
sick.
Yes.
And all of these things. That's not the way it's supposed to be, everyone.
So make sure you go to our website, theecosystemapproach.org. Sign up for a newsletter. It's at the bottom of the first page. And then make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel. Oh my gosh, Jason and Patricia Rohn, the Ecosystem Approach.
Right.
You'll see our picture on all the thumbnails.
Yes.
And be sure to subscribe because that way you connect with us.
Yes.
You know, I don't know if the subscriptions even make a difference anymore for your channel on YouTube, but it's important for you so that you can stay in touch and you know what's going to happen with all this stuff because we don't
Exactly.
even know.
Yes.
And the only way that you're going to know is by subscribing to our channel.
Exactly. So stay with us, everyone, and we'll connect again in 2 weeks. You're listening to the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia.
Living like an ecosystem is the key to a better life for you.
Thank you for listening to the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia. I'm Patricia. Tune in every week as we discuss practical ways to apply the ecosystem approach and develop your potential to live your life on your terms. For more information, visit our website at theecosystemapproach.org.